there hasn't been a new asset class since the bond market was created in 1693. Well, now there's a new asset class, and it is the digital asset space. The question is, are you participating? Hey, what is going on, guys? It's the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday to you. Guys, listen, I'm going to cover our article. I'm going to cover something quickly from Ripple.com. And I'm going to go over some tweets on Twitter from David Schwartz, Ashish Burla, and Crypto Eddie, perhaps. So, guys, listen, this is your XRP Ripple daily news in 0 to around 10 minutes. All right, guys, let's do this. So, shout out to the Daily Huddle for covering this. Ripple executive unveils XRP e-commerce platform. Ripple's director of product is pulling back the curtain on an XRP payments project called Payburner. The platform, which Craig DeWitt is building as a side project, is designed to make it extremely simple to send and receive e-commerce payments. In a new Thinking Crypto interview, shout out to Thinking Crypto. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, you talk about want to level up your XRP IQ, go check out Thinking Crypto on YouTube. DeWitt says that while working on an XRP-centered music platform, it quickly became clear, this is important, guys, it quickly became clear that a universal one-click crypto payment system is sorely needed. Payburner got started because we had this idea for Xsongs, which is, well, it says in the article. And then we realized that this wasn't actually a great ecosystem for individuals to do peer-to-peer payments using XRP. It was interesting to see in the initial version of Xsongs, the vast majority of payments were coming from digital asset exchanges. Yeah, like people keeping their assets on exchanges for one. So yeah, people were buying songs for 20 XRP. One song, 20 XRP, which was the weirdest thing. Turns out that that's the minimum withdrawal for a lot of these exchanges. Wow. Then it kind of dawned on us that actually there hasn't been an excellent wallet infrastructure that makes things really easy for customers of Xsongs to actually leverage XRP. The Ripple executive launched Xsongs in December, a new digital marketplace that allows artists to sell their songs online for XRP. There's no fee to upload or post songs, and artists receive and artists receive 100% of the revenue from their sales, 100% of the revenues from their sales through peer-to-peer XRP payments. DeWitt says that Payburner will launch as a Chrome extension, guys, and will also be payable, and will also be available, as a WordPress plugin. Wow, so they're going to do WordPress, they're going to do a Chrome extension as well, making it available to approximately 455,000 websites. When you look at the distribution of websites today, you have a vast majority of websites that run on WordPress. One thing that we're really excited about is by building a plugin to WordPress. You can make it very easy for people who want to receive XRP and payments for goods to have that plugin. Now, I know Coil, right, has a similar thing as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they differ, if they differ. Because recently, I believe Coil just announced their WordPress plugin as well. So then, but the Xsongs thing, again, that's a marketplace for artists and, songs, people uploading their things. So maybe they'll be different. Then you have a built-in, let me see, did I miss something? Nope. Then you have a built-in ecosystem of people who are easily able to purchase the goods using the Payburner plugin. that they have in their browser. Yeah, really, really excited about this, guys. Wow. So the way that we're approaching this is really one of a two-sided market, one where you have sellers and one that you have buyers. We're going to go actively cultivate the ecosystem on both sides to make a better experience for both parties. I love this. Absolutely. Really, really excited about this again, because this is about growing the XRP ecosystem. You know, so I'm really excited about that. Shout out to Coil, shout out to the people from Spring, shout out to Craig DeWitt and putting this platform together. Xsongs and Payburner, guys. So stay attention. Payburner will be available as a Chrome extension and as a WordPress plugin as well. That is really, really exciting news, guys. So listen, I'm going to title this video Ripple XRP. Ripple once again is making all the right moves. This is one of those moves right here. Coil moving forward, growing the ecosystem. This right here from Craig DeWitt from Xsongs. It's just huge. Doing Xsongs is like a side gig thing, like a little side project. But now he discovered, you know, a new thing to move into as well, which is going to be Payburner. Really, I'm really excited about that. But let's go on to the other right move that Ripple is making. And I really want to point this out to you guys so you kind of get it. This says this is from ripple.com/insights. Staying the course in remittances and SME payments from Ashish Birla. A lot of people, I don't know if they got it wrong, but I think, I don't know if I want to use the phrase got it wrong, but I think they jumped to conclusions on what this is ultimately about. And I talked on my live stream that I did yesterday that this wasn't about a failure. This is about Ripple's ability to pivot, right, when called upon. So let's go through it. With dramatic shifts in the global economy, digital payment services are playing an increasingly critical role for people worldwide. Today's crisis highlights the need for the digitization of cash, access, speed, and reliability, especially for those sending money to loved ones. Across the globe, digitalization has increased rapidly, as much as 80% in Italy, for example. Global digital payment growth is accelerating too, with e-transaction increasing over 40% and digital remittances spiking for several payment providers, including Western Union and MoneyGram International. Digitization of global payments can't come soon enough. The underlying infrastructure is siloed and complex, leading to significant delays and high transaction fees. To speed up this process, financial institutions pre-fund accounts and destination currencies. But this is a costly endeavor that ties up assets and exposes companies to currency risk. Now more than ever, financial institutions need RippleNet's on-demand liquidity service to provide instant global payments and meet market demand. Sending cash payments requires more working capital and resources than digital payments. Because the digital asset XRP can be sent directly, instantly, and cost effectively without needing a central intermediary, XRP eliminates the additional costs associated with sending cash payments and can be used as an alternative to pre-funding. So as a bridging tool in ODL, the greater the liquidity of XRP, the less cost and risk in each transaction. The greater the liquidity of XRP, low value, high number of transactions. ODL's benefits for eliminating pre-funding are especially important during times of crisis due to the exposed risk and increased volatility. A lot of this article feels like, they talk about the roadshow the Ripple would do in normal circumstances for the IPO. This feels like the part of the virtual roadshow that Ripple is doing, alongside what they're doing with, maybe with Link2, right? It feels like a virtual roadshow. This article is really speaking to something bigger than what a lot of us think. I think there's a reason why they're constantly mentioning current times, the current crisis. I think it's a reason that they're mentioning it, and the fact that they're going to pivot into a space that meets the demands of normal everyday people. I think there's a message to this article, guys. I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. So ODL's benefit for eliminating pre-funding are especially important during times of crisis due to exposed risk and increased volatility. In the early months of the global crisis, currency volatility skyrocketed, with the Mexican peso devalued at more than 20%, devalued against the US dollar, for example. Again, they're pointing out some needs. They're pointing out some crises, and they're pointing out how ODL can help stymie those crises, help put the fire out. I don't look. This message is a bigger picture to this message, or probably what is a better way to put it. There's a bigger audience that they're wanting this message to get out to. It's not just us in the community. Ripple is able to alleviate the stress caused by pre-funding for our customers. Ripple is able to alleviate the stress caused by pre-funding for our customers, enabling instant cross-border payments for consumers. Two things they're doing there. Two, they see the benefits of ODL as critical to their business, both maintaining and growing market share. And the customers that they're primarily talking about are their SMEs on the RippleNet. So while the world changes around us, Ripple is staying the course. We are continuing to focus on supporting low value, high frequency payments with ODL. Though transaction volume may look different in this new world. Again, sending us a message, a subtle message. We understand you're going to see that the volume's going down, but this is what we're doing, and this is why we're doing it. And David Schwartz and Ashish Birla are going to kind of clue us in as to why. In particular, we are reducing emphasis on large treasury payments, which are traditionally used to fund businesses and services in the absence of real-time transfers to support. So we're reducing that emphasis, and we're moving to support individual low-value transactions, addressing the growing need in remittances and SME payments. This may reduce overall ODL transaction volume. So they're telling you exactly what it is that they're doing. And they're able to do it. Right? These low value transactions are going to be, the number of transactions is going to be massive. It's not going to be 1 or 5 or 10 or 100 or 1,000. It's going to be tens of thousands, if not more. It's not just MoneyGram, right? It's a bunch of SMEs on the RippleNet, right? So still, because of the benefits of ODL are so compelling for enabling the future of global payments, we anticipate businesses will support even more transactions than ever before, right? And again, it's going kind of back to perhaps MoneyGram, right? As the treasury, right? Treasury payments. It might have been another company, but primarily the ODL was used for treasury payments, right? Not individual retail payments. So it's essentially, that was a test. We proved out. Now we're moving into the next phase, if you will, of providing the significantly more transactions on the ODL, supporting significantly more transactions on via the ODL. See what I'm saying? Like, we proved that we can do what we said we can do. Now we're moving to this large quantity of transactions, right? So here's the thing. We anticipate businesses will support even more transactions than ever before on RippleNet, and new additional connections on the network will take shape. Again, telling you exactly what's going on. Ripple is on track to open new ODL quarters this year, and we're onboarding new customers. new quarters, new customers, and working with existing customers to ramp up ODL volume in important quarters, including the United States and Mexico. Ramping up the volume. And the USD to Mexico, right? Ramping up the volume in USD to the Philippines, ramping up the volume to Australia to USD, ramping and Australia to Philippines, ramping up the volume from Europe to USD. Businesses everywhere are adapting to the new norm, yet uncertainty remains a constant, and Ripple is here for our customers and their customers. People shouldn't have to worry when sending money abroad. Together, we can ensure that people everywhere have continued access to these services instantly, reliably, and affordably. So I hope you guys get the message there. So for those of you who are doubting, I just encourage you to read it again, read it a second time, read it a third time. Again, don't speculate, appreciate what Ripple is doing. Go check out David Schwartz's tweets. I'm going to share those. Go check out Ashish Burla's tweets. I'm going to share those. Get a better understanding for what's really going on. You know, it's in you know, don't be so quick to just, you know, to jump into, oh, the sky is falling. So don't forget about what this is. We're talking about a ginormous behemoth that is Ripple. We're talking about the champ in XRP. The champ is here, guys. Let's not forget that. So let's cover a little bit of David Schwartz here. And I love this. I'd encourage people to give some thought to the relative advantages and disadvantages of more dollar value versus individual payments. In other words, larger dollar, may it be one transaction that's significantly large, versus more individual payments that are in, you know, 5 times as much, 20 times as much, 100 times as many transactions, 1,000 times as many transactions. Particularly, he says, in the remittance context. It's not clear cut, right? So let me see, what else can I share with you guys? Here's David Schwartz. It was always our preference to handle smaller payments directly, rather than handling larger payments that are later divided into smaller ones. Some partners weren't willing to let us handle the retail payments directly until we could prove that the technology worked reliably. Treasury operations were safer because current customers weren't waiting for them to complete, right? So it wasn't the retail customers. You get that? They're saying, they're pointing out the bigger picture and what they're doing. And I'm absolutely excited about it. I wish I had the Wrath of Con Man's thing. I think his tweets were perfect. There's an obvious advantage to handling larger payments if you think the size of the payment measures its economic importance or relevance. Then big payments mean big money numbers, right? But handling lots of smaller payments has advantages too. They're just subtler. A big one is that it's stickier. In other words, you keep these customers coming back and back and back because of the advantages that ODL offers. The benefits are pushed all the way down to the customer, which is important, and then it becomes more than just a replaceable tiny cog in a big machine. Remember that, a replaceable tiny cog. That's right. If you're the business person, you don't want that to be you, the replaceable tiny cog in a big machine, right? You also need to prove lower fixed costs to handle smaller payments, and the benefits flows more directly to those who most need them. And trust me when I say this is going to be a message, if you will, it's bigger than to us in the community, is out there. This message of providing a cost in a user, what is the word I want to use? The end user, right? All these benefits to the end user, which is you and I, the individual customers out there. There's a bigger picture, right? Than one company. There's a bigger picture where it's 100 customers or 1,000 customers or tens of thousands of customers or a country. right? It's a bigger picture that way. So I love what they're doing. Absolutely love what they're doing. So this is a good tweet as well. I just want to kind of think. This is David Schwartz again, and this this makes sense. Some partners were willing to let us handle their retail payments until we could prove that the technology worked reliably. David Schwartz. Some partners were not willing to let us handle their retail payments directly until we could prove that the technology worked reliably. Treasury operations were safer because it wasn't you or I or on the other end waiting for a payment to happen. Treasury operations is a different thing. Treasury operations were safer because customers weren't waiting for them to complete. And Anders Lundenberg, shout out to Anders Lundenberg, says, thank you. This explains everything. And I hope, guys, that makes more sense to you. I hope it makes sense to you now, guys. So, all right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this up. And I'm going to do this like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.